Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Online Smicha. You know the common saying that there is the Yiddish nose, the Yiddish nose. You could tell who is Jewish by the appearance of the nose. Is there some mucker for this in the Torah? I mean, is it true that there is such a thing as a Jewish nose? So let's start with a medrash in Eicha Rabbah, Perek Aleph, Yud Aleph. Over there the medrash says that there were two women that lived in Ashkelon, and they were fighting amongst themselves. And one says to the other, "Teilchiat mekan, please leave, because you don't belong in this fight. You could tell from your nose that you're Jewish." The Gemara in Yerushalmi says in Masechta Yevamos Perek Tezvav, Perek Tezayin Halacha Gimel, Rav Yirmiyah b'Shem Rav says like this: Hakaras pneim ansabam. Sometimes the appearance of a person's face shows what he is or who he is. Says Rav Yirmiyah, Zeh hachoitem. That's the nose. You could tell from the nose from what nation or from what type of person the person is. And Reb Chia goes on to say in that statement that if a person, man de boy de loy mischakma, if anybody wants the people should not recognize who he is, he should put a wet Band-Aid, a wet shmata over his nose, because their nose is what tells people who, what, when, where. An interesting thing. And from the halacha, we could see it in many ways, that the chashivus of a Yiddish nose. You look in Parshas Emor. In Parshas Emor, the pasuk speaks about a kohen that has a mum, a kohen that has a blemish. Loi yikrav lahakriv lechem elekov. A kohen who is not perfect in his body features, he's not allowed to serve in the Beis Hamikdash. Ki chol ish asher boi mum, any kohen that has a mum, loi yikrav should not go closer to the avodah. And the pasuk goes on to give examples of what would be considered a mum. So the pasuk in Perek Chof Aleph, pasuk Yud Ches says, Ki chol ish iver, one who is, God forbid, blind, oy piseach, or lame, oy charum, oy serua. What's charum or serua? Charum is one whose nose has no bridge. Serua is one whose limbs are longer than the other. So we see perhaps one of the clear mumim that a person or kohen may have is a charum. And Rashi says, "Shechoit mo'shakua ben shtei einayim, shekoichel shtei einav ka'achas." As mentioned before, he's missing the bone on the top of the nose in such a way that if somebody's putting on makeup, the makeup for his eyes, he doesn't have to stop in between. It could go, one stroke could go through both eyes. That would be considered a mum. So we see a nose plays a very big role in the description of a person. We see perhaps why is it talking that the nose symbolizes so much. The Ramban says on that pasuk, Hachoitem hu hadras haponim. Believe it or not, a nice nose, the nose is the beauty of the face. Umi she'ein choit kashar b'nei adam, somebody whose nose is not as nice as a regular person. The reason why it's called a charum, because surasei chareva, his features are like demolished. And that's the reason it's called charum. Or charum migzeras cherem. Now, Rabbeinu Bechaye adds that we find something very important about the nose. The Yid, the Adam Rishon, the life spirit that Adam Rishon got, and that's how every person's life comes into him. The pasuk says, "Vayipach ba'apov nishmas chayim," that the source of life, the nishmas chayim, came in. Was blown into the Adam through his nostrils. So we see that the nostrils, the nose, is what is very edel, and it's meant to be mekabel, to receive the neshama, the chayis that gives the person's life, And as it's mentioned in the Zohar and different svarim of the Kabbalah, that the Eibishter put his name on every Yid, and the Eibishter placed his name in every Yid in the name of Shin Dalid Yud, and it says like this. It's mentioned actually in Medrash Tanchuma Parshas Tazria, that the Shin is in the nose. If you look closely, there's a Shin in the nose. The Dalid is in the hand. There's a Dalid. And the Yud is in the bris milah, in the milah. So every Yid has the appearance of Hashem, and one of the Oisius are in his nose. It is interesting to quote that as by the Kayin, we consider a deformed nose a mum. In Shalas Shuvas Chavis Yoir, in Siman Reish Chaf, there's a discussion if a woman or a man and a woman were chassan and kala were engaged, and something was going wrong, and over there the discussion was that the chassan said, "I can't marry this girl." He found the reason that wasn't obviously his real reason, but his excuse was, "Oh, she has a very funny-looking nose." Is the funny-looking nose considered a mum enough to be able to break a shidduch? We do find that throughout history, different Ga'onim, different Tanoim were called Baal HaChotem. Baal HaChotem means the man with the nose. The Gemara in Tainis, Daf Chav Tes Amud Aleph, says that Rabbi Gamaliel was called Baal HaChotem, the man with the nose. And the Marsha over there explains why was Rabbi Gamaliel called Baal HaChotem. Says the Marsha, Lefi Yisrael heim am echad dimyon guf. All Yidden everywhere make up, we are structured like the structure of a body. Wherever we are pieces of one big body. Kishamachiv le'ever echad, just like a body. If any body part hurts, it hurts everywhere in the body. Margish kolaguf, the whole guf feels it. Same is, by Yidden we care one for another. However, even though every body part feels the pain of the other one, yet there are some that are more sensitive to this. Miu ha'evarim einam shavim b'ma'alasim. Yet not all body parts are equal. Sheyesh mehem, there are some body parts shechayusa shel adam toila behem, that a person's life depends on, and therefore, since the oxygen, the air comes through the nose, and that's what helps the person live. Therefore, the Marsha says they called Rabbi Gamaliel Baal HaChotem because he was the Rosh Nasi. And since that's where that gives the life support, the Nishmas Ruach Chaim for the person to survive, Rabbi Gamaliel, the Nasi, had the power to give the life into the Jewish people of that time. We also find that the Smak, the Sefer Mitzvahs Katan, also was called the Baal HaChotem. We find it by other people too. We see the sensitive thing about Reyach, that Reyach is by B'samim, by the Neshama Yisera, the way we calm ourselves down when the Neshama Yisera leaves is by smelling. Smelling is a very sensitive thing. And therefore, specifically, there's a special inyan that a Yid should not even allow himself to smell Avodah Zarah, because the smell, the sense of smell, is so potent, so important for a Yid, because that symbolizes its Nishmas Ruach Chaim.